Hey guys, welcome to another Game Tyrant gear review. I am Syndrome208 and we are doing a first impression review of the Acer Predator Z1 curved monitor. It's a 27-inch monitor that is curved. You can see the specs on that side of the screen. We'll go through them really fast. I may not be talking about them in order, but their standard refresh rate on it is 144 hertz. They say it can go up to 200 hertz when you put it into the extreme mode on the actual monitor itself. The response time is 4 milliseconds. Brightness goes up to 400 nit. If you know what that is, more power to you. I don't know what that is. But it's like the anti-tearing technology is G-Sync. So not you don't V-Sync, it's G-Sync. That is the biggest thing about this monitor is G-Sync, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. Screen size is set 27 Full HD 1920 by 1080p. The panel is a VA panel, and then the inputs, you got a display port on the back and an HDMI, and you only have one of each. So your DVI cables, DVI-D won't work for this. You'll need to have your display cables. HDMI will not allow for the full 144 hertz refresh rate, so use that display cable, because if you use the HDMI, you're not going to get the full range and the full capability of this monitor. And it does have USB 3.0 that you can plug in on the back, and 2 ports, 4 ports on the back, not 2, not 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of them right on this side of the back. So that's nice, being able to plug in your peripherals right to the back of the monitor. It makes it, very easy. Say if you're like moving around a lot or whatever, you just plug it in, plug it in. It makes your cables go. You only have 1 cable going from the monitor. Technically, you would have 2 cables going from the monitor, your display port cable, and that USB 3.0 cable going from the monitor down to your PC, versus your display cable, your keyboard, your mouse, and your headphones, if they're USB. So guys, that's the specifics real fast. They'll be on the screen over here the entire time. You can swivel the monitor back and forth. It goes right there and all the way that way. The base of it, let me move this little keyboard right here. The base of this monitor is by far the best base out there. There's none other that are better. The main reason for that is because it's a 27-inch monitor. The bases, they need to be big in order to be able to sustain its weight. But this monitor, so say how I play with it is that I turn it all the way. I then have this facing at me. I'll then have my keyboard or my mouse right there and my keyboard right here. So I can actually have this monitor super close to my face because I'm blind, I'm old, I need bifocals, and I refuse to do it. But the base, you can actually get close to this monitor. All the other monitors out there, there's one other brand, yes, but most of the other monitors out there have a huge base and do not allow you to get close to the monitor, which you're like, okay, so I have to have this monitor far away? Most people play like that, but for me, that's a huge bonus. On all of their monitors, like Acer has done a great job on their base. I love it. I'm gonna move it over a little bit. Then, so the bezel is rather thin and sleek. It's not your thick bezel that you see on a lot of monitors. The curvature to it is nice, because when you play with 3 screens, you don't see this hand over here because of the specs. But it curves, and then your monitor just goes straight out from that end curve, and it's sick. I ain't gonna lie, I love it. At first, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like these curved monitors at all. They look extremely weird when you very first look at them, but when you're using it as your main monitor, and you have the other monitors coming out, even if they're flat panel monitors, like, it looks sweet, and it makes it really easy and clean, because on most monitors, there's like, you kind of have it tilted, so it's not like the bezels aren't really lined up very well, but with the curvature, it allows for you to line it up really good. It makes in-game is, when you're just kind of panning around, looking in, like looking at the monitor from side to side. It's just really nice. You should try it. You may think it's a gimmick, but try the curved monitors. They're awesome. I really like them. So, but going back to the G-Sync though, if you haven't tried G-Sync and you're like, well, what is G-Sync? Is it worth the extra value? Because G-Sync is like an additional $200. Because the price of this monitor, let me get that up on screen. I could only find it on Amazon right now. It's down here, but it's $602.99. In comparison to all other G-Sync 27-inch monitors, this is actually right in the same price range, which is good because a lot of the other Acer monitors that I have reviewed have been a little high on the price. This one is not. Good job, Acer. I like that. You guys are actually being competitive with the pricing. So, $602.99 G-Sync. Usually it's like $200 more if you go from non-G-Sync to a G-Sync monitor. Is that $200 value there with going with G-Sync? I say yes. I play, especially if you play like first-person shooter games, having the G-Sync is just so fluid. There's no screen tearing because the actual, every frame is synced up with your graphics card. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, it syncs up between the graphics card and hardware inside the monitor, making it so every frame is precise. And how I always describe it is like in real life, when you look from one side and over and you're like looking around like that, how smooth it is. That's how it is in game when you go to a G-Sync monitor. 144 Hertz is awesome, but G-Sync is where it's at. The G-Sync is just amazing. That's all I gotta say about that. So let's get you a little close up of the monitor. On the bottom, you can kind of see, so there's lights. You can change the lighting color, so you get that ambient light, you know, when it's down. You can see it reflecting down here. You can change that. So I already talked about swivel, but it does go up and down. We need elevator music. Da, 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 da. Nope, that's not elevator music. I don't know. See, down and up. It does have a matte finish, so it's not glossy, which is my preference. Like you could still see, like right, you still see like the lighting on the ceiling. But if it was glossy, you wouldn't even be able to see what's on the actual screen itself. I hate glossies. But you know, just like that, you can't spin it. Like, you know, I tried. You can't do the what's that, portrait view with it. But I'm one to never even do that, anyways. Spin this around. Well, I guess I'll show you right here. So your cables, you see this little hole right here? You can go down and through that. That's your cable management. Give me some more cable. Okay. The USB that I spoke of, the 4 USB. You're like, wait, there's 5 right there. One is the inlet for it. You have your power button up here, and you can toggle through some settings this way, but there's this like directional key like button. You press it in, it goes into the menu, and you can navigate through the menu, which I'll show you. But that's kind of nice. You just reach up and you can do it all from that button. Other than like, what button do I need to press on the side? I can't remember it. This even powers it on when you press it in. The ports are on the bottoms. This is the HDMI. I do have it plugged in HDMI. Shame on me, but I had a really long HDMI cable, so I did that. Display port. You do have an audio port on it right here that you can't really see as well. But let me show you the settings in it. So on the one that we have here, so you press it in and you get all of your settings coming up. There's like your picture settings, color. So like in picture you can do brightness, contrast, blue light. You can make it so it's not as much blue light. You can enable that. So if you get headaches from monitors, enable that, and it should reduce the amount of headaches you get, or the frequency of headaches. Dark boost, which is what I use all the time. What that does is all of the darkness, so like I'll turn it down to off. I don't know if you guys will see it on the, you should see how it's going up. Well, what it does, it changes the brightness of the dark colors. Not all the colors, not all of them across the range, but the darker colors. So I play Counter-Strike and first-person shooter games, so having that brightness level is actually really nice to have that turned up. You know, your color settings, if you want to like automatically adjust that, you can turn on or off the audio and audio level. In the gaming, so here's the overdrive mode. This is how you can get it to go to 200 hertz. On our model here, when I did the 200 hertz, I had the weirdest looking ghosting. It looked like I was watching Tron. So, but when I disabled that, it was fine. I had it on normal. You can do an aim point, which is just an on-screen crosshair. Yeah, get off. I'm like at an angle, so I don't know if I'm like clicking it. Okay, here we go. Back. So you can see the crosshair. It's an on-screen crosshair. Be careful using this, guys, because in some games they do consider it, well, in almost all games, they consider external aim assist. So if you have that on, you risk getting a ban, but it's kind of cool. It's too big for me to use. But they have 3 different ones that you can go through. They look like the Halo crosshairs. Just turn it off. No. Over, off. I will say the button, as you see, I'm like struggling with it, but it's because I'm sitting here at a weird angle. Off, over, okay. On screen display, you can change it, you can go to English and all that kind of stuff. System, this is where you can change it to HDMI and stuff like that. Quick mode, quick start mode, power off. If you want, you can keep it so where the power on the USB is always on or always off when the monitor is off itself. So that's close up of it, guys. The lighting again. Alright guys, well I hope you liked this first impression video of the Acer Z1 Predator monitor. I'm giving this monitor an 8 out of 10. Probably one of the highest ratings that I would have given a monitor from Acer, because all their price points have always been really high. They did really well with the price point on this. As I said, I showed it earlier at $602.99 on Amazon. Right now that may go up and down, but having it be the same price, if not actually a little bit cheaper than some of your other monitors, but having the curvature to it, that's huge. That was nice. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And so guys, hit that like button if you like this review. Hit the dislike if you dislike it. But let me know in the comments on why you disliked it so I can improve the quality of these reviews. And also if you have any requests on any type of gear, games, equipment, anything, put it down in the comments as well, and I'll request to have it if we don't already have it and do a review for you guys. So guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Syndrome 208. Peace.